In spreadsheets, it's often useful to have the spreadsheet check itself to see if there's any missing information in a number of data sets. In this example, I have a set of information here, and for simplicity it's just days of the week. And we have a lookup here which looks up to see if this day of the week is a weekday. What you'll see is here is our categories. We have a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And our lookup has found a few errors where it cannot find any information. What we'd like the spreadsheet to do is to tell us which items are missing so that we can easily update this data set. The first thing we want to do is to see if all these items exist here. Now, a useful feature to do this is the Countif function in Excel. So if I activate my function wizard and find the Countif function, so okay. What the Countif does is it look at a set and say how many times did I find a number. So in this case, the range we wanted to look at is this range here. And because we are going to copy it down, I need to make this absolute, and I can do that by pushing the F4 key. And the criteria, what it must count, is sitting over here. So what we're saying is how many times do you find this item, the Monday, in this data set. And when I click OK, you'll see it tells me it finds it one time. And when I pull it down, you'll see it counts and says Tuesday I found once, Thursday I found once, Friday I don't find at all, and similar with Saturday and Sunday. Now having ones and zeros is not that nice, so what we're going to do is just build a little if statement using the function wizard. And basically all it's going to say is if this equals 1, if that's true, I'm happy it's in this list, so I'm going to say OK. And if it's false, I want it to say check. And when I say OK, you'll see there it says OK, and when I copy it down, you'll see there are a couple of items where I'm warned to check. You'll notice that at the bottom here, we're getting checks even though there are blanks here. So just in that anticipation of this, we're going to just set up a little check that says if there's a blank here, don't bring through anything. So over here, I'm going to make use of the if function. So I use the function wizard, go to if, I say OK. And what we want to say now is if there is something here, then say OK. So if that cell doesn't equal blank, as indicated by 2 inverted commas, if that is true, say OK. If it is false, we'll just put a dash in there. When I say OK, we'll get an OK, and I can pull that down. And what you'll see now, we've got OKs, and then where there are blanks, we've got nothing. Now we could leave things here, because already in this column, we are told which are the problem cells. But what would be useful is if we can set up a check as well that says if you've told me about the instance before, don't tell me again. So for example, over here we're told that there's a problem with Saturday. If you come down a little bit lower, you'll see that Saturday again is highlighted. The way we can do that is to do another little test that says, have you already seen this item before? And again, it involves Countif. So if I go to my function wizard and I say Countif, now what we want to do is the range we're going to look at, I'm going to highlight this cell and the one above it. And what we want to do is as we copy down, we want it to basically expand this. So in this case, I'm going to just make this one absolute, $signs. The G20 will increase as it's copied down. And the criteria I want to use is this number, this cell itself. So I'll click in it. When I say OK, you'll see it says it finds 1 in that range. As I copy down, you'll see as we go down, eventually Monday tells us we found it twice, Tuesday twice, Saturday twice, And just to see what it's looking at, you'll see it's going, looking at Saturday, going up and saying how many times have I seen Saturday before. Again, the 1s and 2s are not that useful, so I'm going to just build in a little if statement. We'll go if. Okay. The logical test in this case is if this equals 1, then we're happy with that, so I'm going to say OK. And if it's false, I'm going to say check. I'll say OK and copy it down. Now that we have all these checks, let's combine them into one single column so that we just look at one column. The way we're going to do that is we're going to look and see what conditions are met for each check and decide whether it should warn us or not. The function to use is the if function again. But now in this case, we're going to also make use of the AND function because we've got a couple of criteria that must be met. So over here, I'm going to type in AND. And here's the first thing. So we look at the blank and we say, is this a proper input or is it a blank? In this case, so we want that equals OK. And if that is a valid input, then let's see, does it exist? And what we're looking for here is, does that equal check? And if there's a check here, then are we sure that this is the first time we've seen it or is it the second time? So what we want is to click here and say, is this the first instance, which in this case is shown by an OK. So I'm going to put OK. And if all those conditions are met, then I want it to say check. So if it is a valid input, we've got a problem with its existence, but it's the first time we've seen it, then tell me about it. Otherwise, say OK. When I click OK, you'll see I can now copy it down. And what I get is I get a few OKs, then I'm told that the Friday is missing. And we can see Friday is not here. We can also see that it's the first time we've seen it. The next one tells us Saturday. Again, it's missing. It's the first time we see it. Over here, you'll see there's Saturday. But because it's not the first time we've seen it, and we've already got a warning for it, it's not shown. And then Sunday, again, is not shown. And by simply looking at this, we now know we're missing Friday. So I'm going to just copy that and put it here. You'll see that immediately goes to 0. So we can set that up to be a weekday. And I know I now need to copy these two items. Paste in the Sunday. And this we'll call weekend. Copy it down. And in a very quick way, we can identify all the items that are missing, and you can see our error checker told us that there's no problems.